The Cathar diplomatic vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere with the weight of desperation. Ambassador Voronek stood at the viewport, his scaled hands trembling. 3 days ago, 5 Cathar younglings had vanished during the cultural exchange program in the human city of Portland. 3 days of searching, 3 days of mounting terror that something terrible had befallen the dragon children. Ambassador, his aide whispered, the human authorities say they've located them. Voronek's heart seized. Are they alive? Yes, sir. But, the aide hesitated. You need to see this for yourself. The transport landed in a residential area, and Voronek emerged to find a cluster of human officials waiting. A woman in uniform stepped forward, her expression carefully neutral. Ambassador, I'm Captain Sarah Chen. Your younglings are safe. They're in the park, just beyond those trees. She paused. We thought it best if you saw the situation before we intervened further. Intervened. Voronek's crest flared with alarm. What has happened to them? Nothing bad. Sir, just unexpected. Follow me. They walked through a grove of oak trees, and Voronek heard it before he saw it, the unmistakable sound of Cathar laughter. High and melodic, mixed with human children's giggles. He pushed through the final branches and stopped dead in his tracks. In the center of a grassy clearing, his 5 missing younglings were indeed flying, or rather, attempting to fly. But they weren't alone. A human boy, no more than 10 years old, was running beneath young Zixther, holding what appeared to be a massive kite harness. The Cathar youngling's wings were spread wide, caught in the artificial lift, and he was soaring 3 meters off the ground, shrieking with delight. Higher, Kevin. Make me go higher. Zixther called out. The human boy Kevin laughed and ran faster, the wind catching the contraption and lifting the dragon child even higher. You're doing it. Zix, you're really flying. Voronek blinked, unable to process what he was seeing. His gaze swept across the clearing. Each of his missing younglings was there, and each was paired with human children. They had constructed elaborate harnesses, wing extensions, and what appeared to be modified hang gliders, all cobbled together from backpacks, bedsheets, plastic pipes, and duct tape. A human girl with dark curly hair was helping young Selena adjust a harness made from rope and canvas. Okay, Mia's got you secured, the girl, presumably Mia, said, checking the knots. When you spread your wings, the airfoil here will give you extra lift. Kevin's dad is an aerospace engineer, and he showed us the calculations last night. Voronek found his voice. You've been working on this all night. The human children and Cathar younglings turned toward him as one. The youngling's expression shifted from joy to guilt in an instant. Ambassador Voronek, Zixther called out, slowly descending as Kevin brought him down. We can explain. We're so sorry. Selena interrupted, her wings drooping. We didn't mean to worry everyone. We wanted to fly. Voronek approached slowly, his mind reeling. You disappeared for 3 days. We thought you were kidnapped. We thought you were hurt. Mia stepped forward, her hands clasped nervously. That's our fault, sir. When we found them crying in the park 3 days ago, they told us they couldn't fly yet. That Cathar kids don't develop flight until they're older, and they were homesick because they missed seeing the sky from above. Kevin joined her, his voice earnest. We thought we could help. My dad's an engineer, Mia's mom is a physicist, and Tommy's sister is in robotics club. We told our parents we were doing a science project for the cultural exchange, which wasn't exactly a lie. We worked through the night designing the harnesses, another human child added. We tested them on ourselves first, obviously, safety first. Voronek looked at the contraptions more closely. They were crude? Yes, but ingeniously designed. The wing extensions actually mimicked Cathar aerodynamics, and the harnesses were carefully padded to avoid harming the younglings' developing wing joints. You did all this, he said slowly, to help them fly. Well, yeah, Mia said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. They were sad, and flying is important to them. So, we figured out how to make it happen. Voronix felt something break inside his chest, not in pain, but in wonder. In Cathar culture, younglings who couldn't fly yet were kept grounded, taught patience, told to wait for their bodies to mature. It was tradition, it was safe, it was sensible, but these humans, these children, had looked at the same problem and asked, why wait? Show me, Voronix said quietly. The human children's faces lit up. For the next hour, Voronix watched as they took turns running with the younglings, helping them catch the wind, teaching them to angle their wings just right, to feel the lift, to experience the joy of flight years before nature intended. Kevin ran tirelessly, his legs pumping as he gave Zixter speed and altitude. Mia made constant adjustments to Selena's harness, improving the design with each iteration. The other human children shouted encouragement, tracked wind speeds with apps on their tablets, and celebrated every successful glide. When Captain Chen approached an hour later, Voronix was sitting on the grass, watching young Selena soar in gentle circles, Mia running below with the guide rope. Ambassador, Chen said carefully, we can shut this down if you want, for safety reasons. Voronix was quiet for a long moment, then he stood, his decision made. Captain, I need to speak with the parents of these human children, I need to thank them, and I need to request that this project be officially incorporated into our cultural exchange program. Chen's eyebrows rose. Sir, my people have spent 10,000 years telling our younglings to be patient, to wait, to accept their limitations. He watched as Zixter executed a perfect banking turn, his laughter ringing across the park. In 3 days, human children looked at the same limitation and simply refused to accept it. They saw sadness and responded with creativity. They saw a problem and built a solution out of bedsheets and rope. He turned to Chen, his eyes bright. This is what humans do, isn't it? You don't accept the world as it is. You remake it into what it should be. Even your children understand this instinctively. Captain Chen smiled. We have our moments, as the sun began to set, painting the sky. In brilliant oranges and purples, Voronix watched Mia and Kevin guide the younglings through one last flight. The dragon children's wings spread wide against the fading light, their laughter carried on the wind, made possible by human hands and human hearts that refused to let joy be delayed by something as simple as time. That night, Voronix sent a message to the Cathar homeworld. It spoke of the ingenuity of humans, the compassion of their children, and the lesson learned that sometimes the greatest gift isn't patience, but the refusal to let others wait for happiness when it can be built with bedsheets, rope, and determination. The dragon children had disappeared. They were found laughing in the sky, lifted by human hands, and they were flying, and